Francis Ngannou destroys Junior Dos Santos in the first round. This is the Battle Camp. Please hit the subscribe button. You'll find it in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. That fight went really quick. 1 minute 11 seconds is all it took Francis to knock Ngannou the fuck out. So this is basically what everyone was saying could potentially happen. The first one to land is the guy that's going to win the fight. In fact, someone said that in the comments in my preview video, and I'm sorry I forgot your name, but you were right. So when I did my preview, I did say that I wouldn't be surprised if JDS wins, but I am picking Francis. And I think, I mean, it's a bit rich for me to sit here and say this, but I think JDS kind of, I don't know whether it was nervousness or lack of self-belief or the fact that he knew Francis is such a monster. But the way he kind of jumped in and tried to throw that big right hand like a haymaker, kind of overhand right, it was so telegraphed and obvious, and it was so easy for Francis Ngannou to not get hit by it. And he missed it by a massive margin. And Francis was able to capitalize on it, and he managed to land kind of, I can't remember whether it was a right or a left, but it was kind of behind JDS's ear, and that was the beginning of the end of the fight, really. And I was a bit disappointed in the way JDS threw that shot, because if we look at the first minute of the fight, Francis Ngannou came out and landed some big leg kicks, but JDS fired back, and one of the leg kicks he landed, he even buckled Francis Ngannou, and Francis Ngannou ended up on the floor. But I did say in my preview video that if JDS, I was speculating that a tactic for or a game plan for JDS for this fight would be to try and stay on the outside, try and move around, try and use the whole octagon, and try not to engage with Francis Ngannou in the earlier rounds. Because let's remember, it's a 5-round fight. But the first time JDS basically committed to a power shot, he paid the ultimate price. I don't know if you have seen it, but I saw it on Twitter after the fight where Ngannou was kind of talking to Dana White through the cage and basically saying that I deserve a title shot now. No, he actually asked him, do I deserve a title shot after that? And the answer is yes. Like, you can't go on the run that he's gone on after losing to Derek Lewis in that boring fight. But after that fight, let me see, I've got his Wikipedia page up. After that fight, he's beaten Curtis Blades, Cain Velasquez, and Junior Dos Santos. And by his standards of late, this fight with Ngannou, 1 minute 11, actually went long, because it only took him 26 seconds to beat Cain Velasquez and 45 seconds to beat Curtis Blades. And they all happen in a similar fashion. A fucking brutal KO. Like, this guy, if this guy doesn't deserve a title shot, then fucking no one does. Do you know what I mean? Like, he 100% deserves a title shot. And I wasn't upset with the UFC's decision to give Stipe an immediate rematch with I know you said Conor McGregor there, don't know why, with Daniel Cormier. I'm not upset, given the fact that, you know, Stipe was the winningest heavyweight champion in UFC history and all of that stuff. But I tell you what, I'd much rather see Francis Ngannou fight Daniel Cormier. That fight for me is very intriguing. More so than watching Francis Ngannou against Stipe, because even though I've seen their first fight, to me now, all I can see in that fight, the way that fight will end, is a KO win for Francis Ngannou, probably early. And maybe my perception of a rematch is being shaped by how Daniel Cormier beat Stipe, and obviously by Francis Ngannou's recent form. But I make Stipe the underdog in that rematch again, even though he won the first fight, and it wasn't so long ago. It was last year. Do you know what I mean? It was, you know, 18 months ago. But that's just how this sport works, man. It's a crazy sport. Also, I won't make a separate video for this, but I just wanted to say Joseph Benavidez, man, that was a good performance. The way he was able to finish that fight. And fuck me, that guy's got a massive head, innit? His head is the size of someone that's about 6'4", but he's about 5'4". So he's missing about a foot in his limbs and his torso, but his head is flourishing, man. That he must be a size 9 hat, 9 3/8 hat. Who remembers buying New Era hats back in the day, and you had to work out what's the first one you ever bought? You had to work out what size you were. Anyway, this has got nothing to do with MMA. I'm just talking shit to myself now. Let me know what you guys thought about Francis Ngannou and his devastating knockout of Ngannou. It was actually during the fight. I found it a bit weird because when he landed that first initial shot behind the ear, they ended up in a weird sort of position where the Francis Ngannou was basically standing behind Ngannou, landing punches like from standing behind, and then obviously Ngannou ended up on the floor and kind of, you know, on his all fours, yeah, basically on his hands and knees. He was like actually when they showed the replay when Ngannou ended up on the floor and Ngannou first started to throw punches whilst Ngannou was in that place, he missed the first couple, and he I think it was with his right hand he was throwing and he was missing. Then he went with his left hand, and that's when he started connecting kind of underneath Ngannou's arm, and yeah, that's all it was, man. That's all it was. Anyway, like I say, let me know what you guys think about this fight. Who do you think Ngannou should be fighting next? Do you think he should retire? I mean, that's a question that he's asking. I saw a post that Ngannou put up, basically saying that he loves fighting and he plans on doing this for years to come, and he wants to get back to the top. But I don't know, man. I think that ship sailed for him, and you know, stranger things have happened. You know, like people have managed to turn their careers around, but I can't, like the way JDS gets knocked out these days, and it's not even like, oh, he's got a weak chin. It's like he kind of exposes himself. He's not. It's almost like he hasn't. I don't know. Okay, it's like either he just hasn't got a fear of, or he thinks that, oh, I'm better than you, so I'm gonna land first, and then he kind of what's the right way of saying this? He kind of ignores his technical ability and just goes to scrap. Or it is the fear that's driving him to fight the way he is fighting. Does that make sense? But he's not fighting like he was 5 years ago when he was champion. That's for sure. Maybe he just lost a yard of pace. Maybe he's just not as quick as he used to be. Because all these, you know, knockouts and just general wear and tear must be taking a toll on him. But, yeah, anyway, this is dragging on longer than I wanted it to. Let me know what you guys think. Put your thoughts below. Don't be scared to hit the like button, the share button, the subscribe button. I'll catch you guys on the next one.